Hopefully, what is laid out here will be seen to have potential as providing an outline for an Old Testament biblical theology that could viably be fleshed out in more detail. The analysis here will be from a canonical perspective, since I believe that would have been the perspective of the New Testament writers, though it is also an increasingly popular perspective among some sectors of modern biblical scholarship. My thesis in this respect is that Genesis chapters 1 through 3 lays out the basic themes for the rest of the Old Testament, which, as we will see, are essentially eschatological themes. These themes are then developed in the New Testament. The works that have attempted to affirm this have merely demonstrated general thematic connections between the first 3 chapters of the Bible and the rest of Genesis and of the Old Testament. None that I am aware of have tried to do this also by actually focusing on specific literary allusions to Genesis chapters 1 through 3 elsewhere in subsequent scripture, though Stephen Dempster comes closest. Thus, this chapter falls into 4 sections. 1. A sketch of the thought in Genesis chapters 1 through 3. 2. Allusions to Genesis chapters 1 through 3 elsewhere in the Old Testament, and how they develop that initial narrative. 3. Observation of the themes from Genesis chapters 1 through 3 elsewhere in the Old Testament, and how they develop that initial narrative. 4. The relation of the Adamic storyline derived from the aforementioned analysis to past proposals of the center of the Old Testament.